What is up, everybody? What is happening? Welcome to Sixers Post Game Live. It's your boy Dives, Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. Guys, new to the channel, smash that subscribe button, hit the like button if you love Joel Embiid. We all do. Today we are breaking down the Sixers win here over the San Antonio Spurs, 119-100. The Sixers move to 21-16, 7 wins out of the last 8 games. Let's go. Joining me is my man. He is Tiago. Follow him on Twitter at @tscabia. What's good, Tiago?
Yeah, man. Back from a health and safety protocol here for a couple of weeks under the COVID. Got us all, man. Just can't escape it. But kind of 75 to 85% there.
Oh, man. All right. Where do you want to lead us off, man? Let's go into just general impressions. What were your general impressions of this game?
I mean, it's got to start with Joel Embiid. Has to start with Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid right now is playing at an MVP level, perhaps a level even higher than we saw last year when he was also making that MVP push from about midway through the year on. This year doesn't seem like there's going to be a lot of missed game excuses to keep him off the MVP first team discussion. So I want to see what voters are going to come up with as a reason not to vote for Joel Embiid, because what you're watching right now is just sheer domination. I mean, it's just another 30-point performance by Joel Embiid where he did literally everything on the court. And what we saw tonight, in particular, first half, is just a complete player. I mean, you saw the passes. You had the behind the back in the post to Matisse Thybulle. You had a play where he took the ball from the top of the key, crossed over his guy, changed direction off the dribble, and just dunked with ferocity. He dunked 6 or 7 times tonight. He was absolutely dominant. And it's been kind of the key, the storyline of the Sixers this last couple of weeks is Joel Embiid is kind of taking the game, the team on his back, and the Sixers have been winning as a result. The Sixers, just to give you an idea, the Sixers without Joel Embiid are playing at a 20-win pace. And with him, they're playing at a 3rd seed in the NBA, in the East. So if that's not MVP caliber, then I don't know what is, Chris, because he's literally the entire team right now.
Yeah, what impressed me the most was his passing, especially in that first quarter. The way he's been reading double teams, the way he's been cutting down on turnovers as of late has been absolutely lights out. We have some comments here. Aaron says, "Great game for Doc. I love how he only rests. I love how he only rests Embiid when he is healthy." Matisse cutting has been good. Yeah, that was we saw an amazing kind of inside-out game between Toby and Embiid to start this game. And he also had a nice pass to Matisse Thybulle under the rim on a cut to the basket. And then Chris Moore says Tobias Harris had a bounce back game tonight. But you look at Joel Embiid, you talk about the Sixers winning 7 of 8. This dude has 30-plus points in 7 of the last games. 7 of the last games. And that's kind of like he's hit the scoring is a little less than last year. But like, what's your quick take? Like, is this MVP form of Embiid better than last year? Like that, because that's been kind of in my head for a little bit. For me, the way he's been leading and carrying this team has been 100%. I mean, I look at the assist percentage. His ability to find others, reading the double teams. His assist percentage is a career high right now. Is this Embiid better than last year is the question.
I mean, if you just look at the straight numbers, the fantasy numbers, so to speak, 3-point percentage up, passing up, turnovers down. Yeah, the points per game is trending back up. But if you just look at the numbers right off the bat, it's a no-brainer. But if you look at the player, absolutely, because he's doing things now that he wasn't doing last year. I mean, even when you think that Joel Embiid has finally reached his ceiling, he has something else to give you to the table. And one of the things that came out so far this year is how the Sixers use Embiid as a guard. So Embiid's paint touches are at an all-time low, right? So the idea that, okay, now you take Ben Simmons off the team and he's got more space to operate in the paint, The Sixers have done a complete reverse of that. So because they have more space, they're pulling Embiid out of the paint, and he's able to dissect the entire defense. As a passer, as a shooter, you see him in transition. You see him working off the post. You see him at the three-point line. It does not matter. He can dominate you from every inch of the court, either as a passer or as a scorer. And he can still get to the line 10 to 12 times a game and shoot over 80 or 85% at the free throw line. So there's really no way to stop him right now. And, that speaks to where he's at as a player. I think, we look at players that can truly dominate the game right now. It's Joel Embiid. You're seeing LeBron James come back up. Obviously, Kevin Durant, Giannis. And that's about it, man. I mean, Jokic is doing his thing in Denver as well. But I'll venture to say that Embiid is having a much more impactful year than Jokic and most of those guys so far this season.
We need to talk about Tobias Harris because he has had back-to-back very strong games. Defense is not there, but let's talk about Tobias freaking Harris. And we have to call him out because we've been kind of on him a lot over these last couple of months. But you look at him here, 9 of 10 within 15 feet. In the previous game, he was 5 of 5 within 10 feet. His just ISO game seems to have definitely taken a little bit notch up as of late here. You look at Tobias Harris overall. Tobias Harris had 23 points. He had 5 assists, 7 boards, 9 of 12 from the field. Just a much more efficient Tobias Harris. When you look at kind of the last 10 games, it's like either been a goose egg or he hits like 3 threes. So what's your kind of take on Tobias tonight? And is this a sign of things to come here?
Yeah, first off, you got to give Tobias credit because that crowd is out for blood tonight. He had this struggle last game where he kind of told the fans to sit down and shut up. And then he had the quote after the game. So you knew that he struggled tonight. The fans would come out and let him know once again. So there's a lot of pressure to perform. He's still not taking any threes, Chris. There. By the wonderful shot chart that there's not a single shot behind the arc. I think he's the kind of guy that once he sees his shot go south, he really does not feel comfortable taking 3-pointers. But he's finishing at the rim with more consistency. Last year he had an abnormally high year finishing at the rim, and this year has regressed way low than normal. So I think we're going to see him kind of balance out as a rim finisher because in general, he has the traits to finish at the rim. He's a tall, long, strong guy that can finish high off the glass. And you see a lot of those plays for Tobias coming downhill. So I expect to be more consistent around the rim, but yeah, you still want the guy to come in and take 4 or 5 3-pointers a game and hit at between 35 to 40%. And he's nowhere near that as a player right now.
Let's jump right into Seth Curry because Seth Curry has been absolutely on fire lately. 46+% over the last 8 games. We rave about how amazing Embiid has been in this 8-game stretch. Seth Curry has been lights out. True shooting percentage 65 plus from 3, 46+%. Seth Curry again tonight scorched the Spurs here. He was 10 of 18 from the field, 3 of 8 from 3. He had 7 rebounds. He had 7 assists. He had 23 points. He was a team leading plus minus of 30. What did you see from Seth Curry tonight?
I mean, Seth Curry is having a low-key historic season. I was looking at some numbers from Seth Curry. As of today, he's the only NBA guard to shoot over 50% from the field and 40% from 3. And that list is not very long when you start going back to multiple seasons and you look at players who played a high volume. So that's an historical stat line to begin. If you look at him as a guy coming off dribble handoff, he's averaging over 1.3 points per possession off dribble handoff. The only guy who's ever done that in the past is Duncan Robinson, ever. So you're seeing Seth Curry put up historic shooting numbers. And, he has quietly become the Sixers' Swiss Army knife without Ben Simmons. I don't know what the Sixers offense would be without him, to be honest, because his shot making so far this season is at a level, like I said, that not many players have reached. So adding on to the fact that he was still able to give you between 6 to 7 assists a game, doesn't turn the ball over that much, can create off the dribble. You're seeing him kind of prod defenses and find guys in the corner, find guys attacking the basket. So I never expected Seth Curry to be this type of player. I thought he would always going to be a good shooter, obviously. But the Sixers have locked a lot more from Seth Curry. A lot of it out of necessity because they don't have a true point guard on the roster. But even in Max's absence, he's really kind of taken that on and really helped the Sixers last couple of games. Tremendous fashion. I mean, double-digit assists against Orlando. Another great passing game tonight. So, yeah, man, between Embiid and Curry right now, it's tough to find a better 1-2 duo in the NBA, to be honest.
That's the first thing that stands out from this box score 100% is you look at Seth Curry, there's 7 assists, just 1 turnover. Heading into tonight over those last 8 games, 2.65 assist to turnover ratio. He's always been a guy that can, put the ball on the floor and make that extra pass. But like you said, like we're definitely seeing just that next level of Seth Curry's game here this season. He's been terrific. Like we've been kind of talking about whether or not he should be an all-star. And I put that on our YouTube channel.
Did you? What was the results?
I did. The results of whether or not Seth Curry should be an all-star this season. It is 253 results. 51% says yes, compared to 49% says no.
I'm sure you got to adjust for some homerism there.
A little bit.
Obviously, he's not going to be an all-star because the East is loaded with talent. But if you put a case in front of me to Seth Curry to be an all-star, I could see reason why. That's how good he's been this year.
All right. So 77 points from the Sixers' big three tonight. Let's go down to Matisse Thybulle here in this game. He had 12 points, 5 of 5 from the field, which is not very typical. He had 2 steals. He gave kind of DeJounte Murray the business here, especially in that first half. What was your kind of general impression on Matisse Thybulle tonight?
He's not going to make Sixers fans very happy. Those that think DeJounte Murray should be the guy next to Joel Embiid.
That was exactly what I was thinking.
I mean, listen, DeJounte Murray has had a phenomenal season. He has improved tremendously as a player from Washington. But I don't know how you can watch DeJounte Murray and think this guy is the guy who they should be targeting Ben Simmons with, because what you see is tremendous amount of inconsistencies as a shooter, as a guy who can finish at the rim. Doesn't really get to the line, doesn't really create much off the dribble. He's developed a lot as a passer. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's really improved as a passer. And he can even be an all-star player in the future. But it's tough to look at DeJounte Murray's game and see a dynamic game changer, right? And Matisse Thybulle tonight kind of put that on display. I mean, give DeJounte credit because he kind of came back in the second half, had a little bit of a run scoring and passing. But if you look at the complete picture, it wasn't a good night for the trade for DeJounte Murray crowd, and Matisse had a big part of that. I mean, if Matisse can erase you off the map offensively, I know he did that with Steph Curry a couple weeks ago, but that doesn't bode well for your ability to be a game changer, so to speak. So, but I mean, Matisse is a great defender. He played a great defense again tonight, no question.
I want to, before we get into player of the games, I want to kind of get your quick thoughts on Charlie Brown Jr. He had 3 points. He had a couple steals. He had a block. He played 12 minutes. He was kind of the standout here in that first half, especially where I think Danny Green had a block and he got kind of the N1 on the other end on fast break. I got some Corey Brewer vibes. I love his energy. The Sixers need guys with energy, athletic guys that can just pester on the perimeter, especially, get those, get the Sixers in transition, push the tempo, get some points off turnovers. What was your take on Charlie Brown Jr. tonight?
Athleticism and size, man. They need that. When you look at the numbers before the game, the San Antonio was second in rebounds for guards in the NBA, second. The Sixers were dead last. So there's no question. Doc looked at his bench tonight. Who is tall and who's athletic on this bench, they can come in there and grab a couple of rebounds. And I think that's why he was there. He just needed some size, some athleticism. He had that great N1. And then he had the play where Drummond tried to hit him with a cut. And he was wide open for a dunk. And he bobbled the pass and went out of bounds. And you could just see Doc just going like, yeah, you're never going to play again, buddy. Like, just get out of the court. Get out. So good for him, man. Like, he's a fun guy to watch. You can tell. Between him and Aaron Henry, it's always fun to see those guys play because you see the athleticism and the energy go up with these guys in the court, and that's exciting.
Yeah, I want to look at the stats real quick. You look at kind of this team was fourth in the league in tempo, and the Sixers had more fast break points than the Spurs. So that is definitely something you'd love to see. Again, only the Spurs only had 12 turnovers. So yeah, definitely going to be looking at this game a little bit further tomorrow morning. But who is your player of the game? I'm going to go off the cusp here. Who is your player of the game?
Yeah, I mean, you got to go with Embiid. It's tough to really look at anything the last couple of weeks and not think Embiid has been the best player on both sides of the court. So tonight was more of the same. I'm just excited to watch Embiid because you're seeing the growth, and you're having a month with Embiid where he's going to average between 7 to 8 assists a game, right? And that's one of the talking points that people use against him and comparing him to Jokic, right? So Jokic is the next level passer. Embiid's never going to be at that level. When you watch Embiid now, and you start imagining Embiid in that Denver offense that everybody cuts off the ball and moves, why couldn't Embiid average between 9 to 10 assists a game? Because his passing has been so phenomenal this year, especially the last few months. So you're going to start – I hope you start having more and more of these games where Embiid really contributes as a passer. And he really hits the spotlight, the NBA spotlight, the national spotlight. Like, here's this guy who can do more than just dunk the ball, score the ball. I mean, beyond the fact he's an all-NBA defender, now you're seeing the complete package. So, if you're still down the Sixers, a potential title contender, just watch for these games and this player, because what you're watching right now, it's something that doesn't come very often in Philadelphia. It just doesn't come. And you got to be able to appreciate that. And Embiid's part of that Philly lore, man. So yeah, it's been fun to watch for sure.
Here's an epic pass from Joel Embiid.
Road swing right now, and what a way for the Sixers. 7-game East Coast road swing right now, and what a way for the Sixers.
Yeah, like, again, a career high assist percentage this season. Chilla says Embiid and Jokic are getting better and better.
And that's not a knock on Jokic. Like, Jokic's an MVP player, but you're seeing Embiid at that level, and that's exciting. That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to a duo that didn't even play tonight. I'm sorry, we kind of pride ourselves here on no bullshit. I gotta say, I am 100%. Tom McGinnis and Mark Jackson are much better at commenting in this game than Kate and Ala, and I love those two. That's not a disrespect at all. I'm just saying I thoroughly enjoy more, listening to Tom and Mark. It just seems more natural for me. So those are my player of the game. They didn't even play tonight. They didn't even call the game tonight. But if I don't know, like, just watching the game, I am all in on Tom McGinnis and my man Mark Jackson, who has done a terrific job here. How would you grade tonight's performance, man?
You can tell Mark is just a better eye for the game. Like, he just sees things that Allah doesn't see. Allah spends way too much time complaining to the refs, way too much time with the pom-poms cheerleading. And, for folks like us who like to understand a little bit more what's going on in the court, Mark does a tremendous job. I would love to see Mark next to Kate, see how that pairing works. I think there's opportunity there because Kate's been really, really good. But yeah, so yes, that's pretty much it. What was your question, Chris? No, that's a question.
How would you grade tonight's win?
Oh yeah, definitely. Hey, I mean, San Antonio's not a particularly great team, borderline playing team in the West, but the Sixers are playing good basketball. They played really good basketball tonight. The game against Brooklyn, we talked about it. It was a really good game for them, and they've been solid since. So, the schedule's going to tense up a little bit with Boston, even though Boston's a train wreck, and Miami's tough team. So you're going to start getting some of these tougher games, the Lakers soon. So, but you want to keep playing that way. You're getting guys back now, and let's see if they keep the show going.
One of our favorite commenters here, Quentin, says Jackson's a little extra, but he's growing on me. Tom is awesome. Tom is awesome. I've interviewed him here on the Painted Lines. If you want to go check that out, he is just the nicest guy. Him and Mark, just the nicest.
They're all nice. They're all nice. They're all nice. It's just that.
Chris Moore says Embiid is third in fan votes. I did not know that. That What that is 100% well deserved. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and we in the mix.
That guy is legit. If the Sixers somehow get him, I think it changes the conversation because I see a lot of Chris Paul in this game. And this kid is like 21, 22, whatever old he is. I don't know. He has been tremendous, and he's a superstar potential, no questions asked.
Yep, difference maker right there. I give this grade an A. How many times over the last several weeks have you seen the Sixers not handle business? They handled their business tonight, taking down a team like the Spurs and doing what they need to do. Joel Embiid, Seth Curry, Tobias Harris from the jump. They were absolutely terrific in this game. They had 32 points in the first quarter, 12 of 18 from the field. That's what I want to see. I want to see this team. I want to see their stars, play well together. And that's something that we truly haven't seen a little bit, especially Tobias. So hopefully Tobias is getting his shit together here, especially ISO, especially within that 15 to 10 feet area, his pull-up jumper. We're seeing a little bit of progress. It's only 2 games. But that is a kind of a big deal when you talk about the ceiling of this team when it comes to the playoffs. Let's wrap it up, man. Where can we find you, man? What do you got going on?
Yeah, man, we'll find me on Twitter at tscabia. We'll try to do as much as we can, obviously. We'll pick it up as these games getting more intense, I'm sure. And I'm just trying to think about, the Seth Curry season, man, how we can give props to that season because there's a lot to write about, to think about because he's been so great. And I don't think there's been else been said about the year that he's having. It's been historic, man, historic. And you saw once again, another great Curry night.
Yeah, absolutely. Follow my man. Wait, hold on. We got some more comments. Chris Moore says, Embiid 3 assists short of a triple-double. It's been amazing, man. Just been amazing. How many double doubles does Embiid have? I'm not sure.
How many games did they play this year?
Yeah, exactly.
Bad minus 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, 80%, 90% of those games, I'm sure. He's been the man. Even when he's struggling defensively, he's been terrific. Even when he's struggling offensively, he's carried this team on his back, especially late in games over the last couple months. So just want to say thank you, everyone, for watching. Be sure to smash that subscribe button. You can see my dog just chilling in the back there. She's not very excited about the Sixers game. She isn't very excited about the snow, by the way. She's just tired. We got some snow here outside of Philly. It was a ton of fun. But again, thank you, everyone, for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Follow us at thepaintlines.com. My man, Tiago, he is at tscabia. For Tiago, for myself, stay awesome, everyone.